thanks so much for joining us in the Mega Corner again. Thanks for coming back. Today we have Andre Chin, the founder of Compass Real Estate Advisors and a MAPS coach for Keller Williams. Thank you so much for coming, Andre. Would you like to start off with telling us why you're here and kind of what you're all about?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Lindsay. First of all, I appreciate being able to participate with you. So I've been with KW now for a total of 6 years, going into my just over 9 years in real estate, founder of a top 20 team within Canada here. And really I'm here for giving back, sort of sharing my journey with your listeners and viewers, as well as, hoping to help anyone out there starting out where they need to go and how they can direct their energy.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing that. And let's talk a little bit about your past and the path and kind of how you got to where you are today and some lessons maybe that you've learned along the way that you'd want to share.
Oh, I don't know if you have enough time for all the lessons, but it's been an interesting journey. So like I said, nine years in real estate. I actually started at another company before coming over to Keller Williams when I first started in the business. And like everywhere else, you come in and they don't really tell you a whole lot. We come in with these rose-colored glasses and we think this industry is going to just be phenomenal. Everyone's going to use me. I know a lot of people. The business is going to be great. And
they're just going to call me.
Yeah, everyone's going to call me, right? And I learned pretty quickly my first year that wasn't going to be the case. I did manage to get Rookie of the Year at the company that I was at.
Amazing.
And, we did do pretty decent things out of the gate, and then kind of fell flat on my face in the second year as no one told me how to follow that up. I just assumed it would keep happening and everyone would keep calling.
Yeah.
And that's when I got introduced to Keller Williams. I had an agent that said to me, if you really have no direction, you don't know where to go, you really should have a conversation with, at the time it was Tony Elijah Day was the TL, and so met with Tony and kind of learned a bit about Keller and decided instantly that that's where I needed to be.
It's history from there.
Yeah, well, kind of, right? I mean, I did what I think a lot of agents do is we think that, there's going to be this grass on the other side that's greener. So kind of came over, didn't see immediate success, and I actually left and went back to the company after that, for another short stint and continue to fail forward very slowly, but continue to fail at what I was doing. And then had a conversation again with the current TL, and was encouraged to kind of come home is what he kept calling it. And
that's a nice way to put it.
yeah, he called it that, and it really kind of hit home with me, and that's when I came over, and I've been a KW since.
Awesome.
Yeah, so kind of had a partner at one point in time. Not in that partnership anymore. I was a lead listing agent on another team for a short stint. And then about 3 years ago, I decided to branch out back on my own and restart my team. And that's where we are today.
Nice. Awesome. So you were mentioning your team. What does the structure look like on your team? Like how many admins, agents?
Yeah, so we're 11 total. And we are currently in conversations with an expansion location that would make us 16 total. Right now, there is two administrators, a transaction coordinator, and our director of operations. We've also got a client care administrator as well. We've got 7 agents that are actively producing on the team, as well as we have a database manager as well.
Oh, awesome. Oh, I think that's a very important role to have, because the bigger that database gets, the harder it is to keep track.
It's a full-time job.
Yes. I've actually never thought of that as a role. That's an awesome tidbit for sure. Great. So again, you had kind of touched on your path in terms of where you started. You started on a team yourself. Did you always want to have a team? Did you put things in place to kind of ensure that was going to happen for you? Or did it kind of happen over time and become your goal?
Honestly, it didn't until I think it was about 5 years ago. I had the opportunity, 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to sit in on a Gary Keller business building, how to build an empire at top by Gary Keller. And one of the things that Gary mentioned in that class is you're either on a team or you're starting a team, so pick a path. And at the time, not sure if it's still the belief, but at the time it was that, teams are going to start dominating the market. They
Yeah.
got bigger budgets, and you see it already. You see the bigger
Yes,
teams out there
definitely.
that do dominate. And so, he was sort of saying, get on board with somebody that aligns with you, or be the person that creates opportunity for other people. And it sort of changed my thinking around it, because up until then, I didn't think I wanted something like that. One of the things that he also said was, you're sort of selfish if you limit yourself within your opportunity. Like, why play small? And it really hit home with me. And I realized, I have the ability to create a world that people can achieve things through our organization and what we're doing. And how could I not give that back?
That's incredibly powerful. I love Gary Keller.
Gary's the man.
So much wisdom. Awesome. And so aside from your team, you're also a MAPS coach, which I did mention at the beginning. So for those of the viewers that aren't in real estate, or they're not with Keller Williams and haven't heard, what is that? What does that mean?
So MAPS, as an acronym, stands for Mega Achievement Productivity Systems.
Okay.
And so, Diana Kokoska under Gary Keller, we're part of Keller Williams as well, but we are a coaching organization that leads and mentors some of the top agents and the mega agents across North America and across the world. And really, it's kind of just as the name says, it's systems and models that are being taught by people that are entrenched in this to get your business into production and forward.
That's amazing. And it's such a valuable tool. Since I've been with Keller Williams in particular, always get a coach, right? You can't always hold yourself accountable. And I think that's a very valuable tool for sure that we offer. And I'm sure, as much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
well, not only am I a coach, I have a coach as well. And one of my big ahas was realizing that, I don't know, I don't care who they are, behind every great player or every great entrepreneur, someone has helped them through that way. And it's usually a coach. And almost every single time, it's a coach that stood up and has helped them on their journey. So,
right.
You sort of need that if you really want to achieve true success.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Great. And so, did you always want to be a coach? Did you always see that in your personality, or has that been something that you've developed since being in real estate? What was your path on that?
It's funny because throughout, even before I was in real estate, I've always found I'm always searched for ways to give back in whatever organization I was in. When I was bartending, even as a teenager and then my early 20s, I was on a training team. I was always leading. I was always helping coach other people into roles. And I sort of always had that knack for it, not really knowing why. And then one of the things that my coach pulled out of me as we went through my big why exercise was that that's something that's super important to me, is that ability to give back to people and to help other people on their journey. And, we both kind of had this aha moment where it's like, why am I not doing more of
Right.
this? I'm already doing it. I'm already giving back. Why not plug myself into a system and a culture that embodies everything that lines up with my value system? So we put a plan together 3 years ago, and this was one of them.
Right.
And so yeah, we just kind of kept working towards it. But it started coincidentally from nothing, just a yearning that I had and something I like to do, and it's transformed now into being with MAPS.
And what an awesome thing to be able to have a coach yourself to harness those kinds of things. Like, that is the reason you have one, right? Totally
Absolutely.
makes sense. And
Yep.
When in your career did you actually decide that you should hire a coach for yourself? Was it the 3 years ago or before that?
It was just after, so about 2.5 years ago. So started the team, and I mean, I knew how to be a sales rep. I knew how to sell real estate, and some systems, some models, but I wasn't doing overly great at it out of the gate, and something was missing. I mean, we did 89, 90 units in that first year,
Which is awesome.
3 people. So awesome.
Yeah.
it wasn't quite everything, right? I still felt as if I had no direction. It still felt as if I was trying to figure everything out. And then I took bold again, And one of the things that my bowl coach mentioned, he's like, why don't you have a coach? And he sort of went through that analogy with me. He's like, look at the greats, look at the Michael Jordans and the Alex Jeters and all
Right.
these true athletes that do incredible things. And he's like, look behind them. You know, you've got a Phil Jackson that's a coach, and you've got all these people that help get them there. And he sort of just kind of said to me, you know, when am I going to stop playing small? And it
I
was
love
like,
that line.
yeah, it gets me every single time,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
yeah, so I jumped in, Kellen Manisteas with Maps Coaching as well. We were at an event together, and I've been humming and hawing about it forever. And Kelly came over and said, "What's your credit card number?" And I said, "What do you need that for?" And she goes, "I'm signing you up right
Yeah.
now."
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I ended up there. Kelly took the lead and said, "You know, get off the fence, Andre, and get in the game." And it completely transformed my world and my business.
That's awesome. And it's nice to have those people in your lives that really call you on that. Like, let's go.
Absolutely.
It's time.
We need that. We
Yeah.
need
Every day.
that.
Sometimes you don't want to listen.
And that's it, right?
Yeah. Takes a while. That's awesome. So being that you obviously have a roster of coaching clients, talking to them on a regular basis, what kind of lessons have you learned from them that you were like, wow, this was so worth it because I've been able to learn from them as well?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the nice things about being a coach is my personal growth through that as well. And you know, there isn't a call that I have on a week-to-week basis that I don't take something out of, whether in my own business or something I've missed or something I can be better at. You know, I'd say the biggest thing that I consistently get reminded of over and over again is that no one has this thing figured out.
No.
Where, you know, you see the most successful people out there. I mean, we've got clients that we coach that are doing 200 plus units, and they still don't have it figured out. Like, no one has the magic pill or the magic formula. It's a lot of hard work, dedication, and time that goes into building a mega team and becoming a mega agent and getting through all this stuff. So that's definitely a lesson that I'm consistently reminded of is, you know, no one has the secret formula. It's hard work that shows up in overalls, and you just got to put them on and get to work, right? So that's a huge lesson. I think secondly to that is as rainmakers, as leaders, as people within organizations, we all seem to think we've got this thing, like we know what we're doing.
Right.
It's sort of being humble and being able to take your ego out of the picture and realize that there's so much wealth of information within KW. Just shut up and listen, for lack of a better way of saying
And
it.
do. That's the biggest.
And do, yeah, and then do, right? Get out of your own way.
Yeah, that's amazing. We're all human, and you don't think of that when you see those successful people. And it's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing is I want to know, like, what are you about, and show me how it is. You know, it doesn't matter how successful you are. We all make mistakes. We all fail forward, right? So that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. And keep going. I think that's the other thing is, you know, we hit these walls and, you know, we see it in coaching all the time, and you have the ups and downs through the cycles and depending on where your market or your lead gen or whatever it is, but it's sort of the not giving up. And Angela Duckworth, I think, writes the book Grit. And that's something to be said. Like, if you haven't read that book, everyone should start with one of those books as well, with the MREA and the One Thing.
Right.
But it's really that perseverance, that you know, keep going, keep pushing, stick to the plan, keep doing your lead gen, because the results will show up as long as you don't give up too quickly.
Right. You got to wait for that to compound, right? So that's
Exactly.
good. So I guess we've touched a little bit on this, but what would be the top 3 reasons why you'd suggest a young professional get a coach?
Accountability would be number one, and you mentioned it earlier as well, Lindsay. Having someone to hold you accountable, having that uncomfortable conversation every single week, week after week after week, when you're in mastery, will force you to show up, as well as you know, having a goal is great, but adding accountability and writing that goal down is really how you can propel yourself to the next height. And we're independent, right? So no one cares if we show up or don't show up. it's nice to have a partner in business that'll be there and have your back all the way through. The second thing I would look at would definitely be personal growth. Having the experience, of somebody else pouring into you as well, and leading you and guiding you through some of the mistakes you're going to make. And then the third reason I would say is it's directly tied to personal growth, but Diana's bold law, we grow to the extent of, or our business grows to the extent of which we do.
Right.
And so with that growth, if you want to build a business, you want to stop just being a realtor, you want to actually have some metrics behind and grow something that's truly worth having, you need a coach to help propel you there.
Right. And what are your thoughts on having a coach for different categories of your life, business, personal, health, fitness, that kind of thing?
Well, we kind of already have that, right? And so when you look at true top performers and top high achievers, they have coaches in all the different areas of their life. If I was to take like my business right now, I've got a business coach, I've got a coach in coaching. If you ever sign up for personal training, that's a coach.
Right.
Why wouldn't you have someone there who's either made the mistakes you're about to make or can help you out of the mistakes you're
right.
because we're all going to make them.
Oh, for sure.
If we're open with ourselves. And so why not have someone on that journey along with you to make you better?
Right.
It's one of the things that I've always said has really transformed our business from where we started to where we are now. And no matter what you're doing, there are coaches available, right? I mean,
Right.
if you have an investment business, Mass has investment coaches. There's so many different areas that you can plug in. Transformational coaching to help you, the person, grow.
Right.
Mastery coaching for production. There's so many different ways
for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Good. All right. Well, I have to ask because we have you here.
Yeah.
What's a nugget or I wouldn't say easy because nothing's ever easy per se.
Simple, not easy.
Simple, exactly. Tip or trick that you could tell our viewers now that they could implement that would affect their business in a positive way?
Well, I think one of the things that gets overlooked a lot is the numbers. This business at a very basic level is a numbers game. You talk to enough people, you will hit the goal that you want to do. So gain clarity around your business and your numbers and structure your days around that. Don't overcomplicate it. Follow the model. So get a copy of the Red Book if you don't have one yet.
Right.
Because Gary has literally given us every tool that we need in that book. And we refer to it in coaching as a manual versus just a book. Like we live and die by the Red Book. So I would say, plug in, learn the systems and models, figure out your numbers, and then chase that goal and make lead generation your only focus every single day. Or at least the most important focus every single day. Someone who wants to do 24 units in a year, you gotta make 20 contacts a day, and you gotta track that and measure it and know that if you ever want to be able to scale your business. So that would be the first place I would start. Okay. Secondly, as quickly as you get there, hire an admin. Get that first hire under your belt so you can get into true leverage and you can go make even more money.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah. And then watch your market, right? Keep an eye on your market. Keep an eye for metrics. I mean, we're seeing it across Ontario right now where we're seeing prices go down. We're seeing days on market go up, right? Don't be that realtor that can't figure out why the house isn't selling. Study and know your market because it's what's going to keep you in the business.
Real estate 101, yeah.
Real estate 101.
Yeah,
right?
aside from getting people to work with, that's the next step.
Exactly. And really just, fail a lot, right? I know that sounds crazy in principle, but fail forward, fail often, and fail fast. Like, don't be afraid to take those chances, do things, get at it, and be aggressive with it. That, keep failing forward. That's no one that I'm sure you're going to bring on the show, no one that you study, they'll tell you it's a ton of failures for that one big success. And whether you're talking to me or any of the other top producers out there, we've taken our lumps, and a big part of what's helped us through that is really reaching out to each other as well, and sharing some of those stories and finding ways that we all don't have to make the same mistakes over and over again. We can make them separately. Right,
which is amazing to have that network.
Thank you. Good. Yeah.
So for anybody who's interested in becoming a coach, what would be your advice to them? Maybe share some good parts, some challenging parts about the whole process.
I would really say before you go down that road, make sure it's something you're passionate about. When you're coaching, one of the things you have to remember is you're taking on a lot of energies as well. So if they're having a bad day, they're gonna deliver that to you as well. If they're having a bad month, you're gonna have people that are failing, and not failing forward. They're just failing. You're gonna have people that are gonna have a lot of different things. So I'd start with passion and make sure it's truly something that you're passionate about, because it is draining. You get on the phone for 8 hours on some of these days, and you're inundated from 8 a.m. until whatever time you get your last call, and you're taking on those people's energies all day. Some are going to be great, some are bad, and everything in between. Just make sure you've got passion to really continue helping and growing people. That's really number one. I think number two is it ties directly to passion, but be there for the right reasons. And what I mean by that is, some people go into coaching because they think it's easy money, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
One of the biggest things I've learned since becoming a coach is how much we have people's lives in our hands. Like you can't take that for granted, right?
No,
If
definitely
you give
not.
if you give someone some information that sends them off in a really bad place, you're not only going to affect them, you're going to affect their family, you're going to affect their business, you're going to affect the people around them. So
Right.
if you aren't truly passionate about it, you're not committing to helping someone grow and move their business forward. Don't do it, because there's just way too much responsibility to take it lightly.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I know that when I met you, for sure, you seemed very passionate about it. You came to teach a class here, and you flat out said to me, "Do you have a coach, and why not?" So that's one thing that's it's definitely stuck with me. I don't have one yet. I say yet.
We'll fix that.
Yeah, definitely something that I'm planning for the near future, for sure. But I can definitely see that from you. I have to ask. You had mentioned that you're taking on what you're going through with your clients. How do you recharge your batteries after that?
Well, I mean, it's funny because when I led with the passion thing, one of the things that I find is I don't ever really need a recharge because of my passion. Like I love real estate, I love coaching, I love our team, the growth that we've had, my business partners, and everything in between. So I don't ever really feel burnt out or tired, and I think sometimes that gets misconstrued as really just a loss of passion for whatever it is you're doing. If you truly love Absolutely. If you truly love what you do every single day, and you've got a really powerful why behind why you get up and do that every single day, I don't need a recharge, right? I mean, I get home and I'm excited to continue to help people. I can't wait to get on the phones with them week after week, because I'm seeing incredible growth in my clients. I'm seeing incredible growth with our team when we go through our coaching moments and everything else, where that's the stuff that energizes me. So I'm getting that good energy already that I don't necessarily need a recharge. And I think that sometimes when I hear stuff like that and passion, or I'm burnt out and stuff like that, it really just equates to what's your why, and are you truly fulfilling what your purpose is to make people around you happy and yourself happy. And my big why has always been to create a universe and a world whereby such people within my organization and everyone around me can achieve everything that they desire through my efforts. And so
that's awesome.
It makes me so excited to watch people do well and to grow and all that other stuff that I don't really have a lot of burnout.
Yeah, and I can see the smile right now about it. You light up when you talk about it, so that's awesome.
I do. Thank you.
Well,
that's how you know it's real, right? I mean, I can't even contain myself. Every time I say it or someone asks me, "Hey, what's your big why?" and I get to deliver that, it just truly energizes me again. And that's really what I focus on every single day is it's up on the wall, it's in our packages, it's everywhere, and I see it so many different times on a week-to-week basis, and it just keeps me fired up and going every single day.
That's awesome. It gives me faith because I haven't found mine yet. I'm on a search. I'm a girl in a search for her big why. This is part of it for me. So I'm I'm very motivated by what you're saying. The fact that you're lighting up, I'm looking for that moment. I'm excited when it comes. So thank you.
Absolutely. And if you ever need help with that, we can have an off recorded call where we can talk
Sounds good.
about that why, and I can help you self discover that. It's a really fun exercise. It does come with pain and it does dig deep, but it once you have that, it'll change your entire world. And at some point, if you get Chris Knighton on this line as well, Chris was actually one of the people that said it to me years ago about finding that passion and really digging in. And he said, why not want it all, right? Why shouldn't we have the crazy, awesome home life, the phenomenal investment, the massive business? Like,
Right.
why not strive for absolutely everything that you want? But once you figure out that passion, it makes it so much easier to chase that.
And he's definitely showing that that's the case.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is a great one for that too.
Yeah, great example.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And so one last question about business. What does the future, I'm kind of curious more so, what kind of future does your business look like? Strictly coaching, stepping away from the business, or choosing one or the other, or both? What does that look like for you?
Right now it's a bit of a mix in all of the above. I love coaching. I love my coaching clients. I love being a part of MAPS. The growth and what they've given me is incredible. I love my team. These guys mean everything to me. I'm very passionate about their success as well within our organization. So I really can't see me pulling away from that. But what we're looking at is creating a really great organization whereby such, like I said, everyone can achieve what it is they want within it. So a lot of times an investment's going to go into the team, continuing to grow it. We're looking at some new expansion locations that,
Okay.
if there's anyone out there that's thinking about being a part of what we're doing, reach out, let me know. Because we are
Awesome.
looking at going across the GTA and Southwestern Ontario with our organization. And, I'm really competitive. Like a lot of the guys you're going to bring on here and girls,
Yes.
we megas tend to be super competitive. And so, my end game is number one in Canada, at least in the short term. And then pretty well seeing where we can go from there. I don't really have a ceiling on where we want to go. And I don't think we have enough time for me to explain my 20-year crazy plan. But
Another time.
there is no ceiling. Yeah, that's going to be another day. I will need a whole topic for that. But my thing is really just continued growth, continue pouring into the people within our organizations, continuing to strive for excellence in everything that we do, and adding things that create opportunity for the people within my world. Because at the end of the day, that is why I'm doing all of this. It's to create opportunity for everyone else.
Awesome. I'm very inspired by the fact that you know all of this and you're just going for it. That's amazing. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I think it'll inspire a lot of people out there for sure.
Thank you.
So,
You don't playing small doesn't help anyone, right? So
no, and I'm
that's
definitely
always
that line.
yeah, it's always stuck with me. And
Yeah.
I had this conversation with my son today. We live in a world literally that you can be and do anything that you want. You just have to kind of make that decision on who do you want to be. And Diana's bold law, you do have,
Yep.
and just get up and go to work and do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's such an amazing thing to share with your next generation, your family. I think that's great. Such
Yeah.
a
I keep telling them they've got to embarrass me, right? They've got to be bigger than me, be more
yeah,
than me.
big time. Yeah. That's what parents want for sure. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Good,
Yeah.
good. All right. It's time for the mega question of the day before we wrap up.
Sure.
I'm going to reset your business. You still have the knowledge you have, but you're starting from square one. What does the first 90 days look like for you?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. If I took the knowledge I have today, I would probably have joined the team instantly. Knowing what I know and really fighting through all this pain over the last 9 years and learning everything I had to learn, recreating the wheel over and over again and everything else, I would plug into a system and I would find an organization that's going where I want to go. The second thing I would do is I would stop thinking I knew it all. I think we all come into this business that way, and I was no exception. And I would really just dig in on the models and the systems that I know today, which is lead generation first and foremost. And I would just put a headset on or grab a bunch of flyers and just every single day, just attack lead generation as if there
Yeah.
was nothing else that mattered. And then I would start studying sooner. I think I was a little later in my career than I probably should have, but I would start reaching out and studying people that are doing what I want to do and where they want to go, and learning from those mistakes and what they've done in order to sort of close the gap, because I
Right.
believe it can be done a lot sooner.
Right.
And there are guys out there that are doing it, and ladies that are doing it in rapid time. And I'd hire a coach as soon as my budget allows for it. That would
Lead
probably
with
be the
revenue, right? And then go
lead
for
with
it.
revenue.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
absolutely. So yeah, that's what I would do.
That is so great. Well, Andre, thank you so much. It's been very insightful and inspiring, and
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to our why conversation.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely schedule that in. Thanks for having me. It's been a great pleasure, and I'm hoping that your listeners out there, there's true value today, and they can take some tips and tricks and kind of build their businesses out as well.
I definitely think that they will be able to for sure after this. So,
Awesome.
all right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye bye.